Good morning, this is Dustin with Orlando Painters, www.orlandopainters.net. We are here at Woodard and Curran Water Conserve 2 in Winter Garden, Florida. I've made quite a few videos at this place, and lots of pictures where they're commercial industrial painting contractor. These tanks were painted like 3 years ago from another painting contractor, and I know it's kind of hard to tell right now because the sun's just coming up, but you would not believe how bad this paint is faded. It's probably the worst I've ever seen. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I think these tanks were painted right around 3 years ago. And if you walk around all these tanks, you would swear that these things were painted 10 years ago. Unbelievable. So they do, there's an annual cleaning of these tanks. And we do all the rest of their painting, all their industrial painting, all their tanks, silos, services, well sites, everything. So they asked us to clean these tanks, and as we did, paint's just falling off the sides of it. It's unreal. There's a few areas where the paint's peeling because of cracks, and you know, if the crack goes all the way through, there's a lot of pressure in these tanks. These are 5 million gallon water ground storage tanks, and there's some that go all the way through, and there's a lot of pressure and just pushing stuff out. So nothing you can do about that. Well, we can, but you know, the paint's going to come off. So in the other areas, the paint's just flat out delaminating from the substrate. So what we're going to do is, we came in here yesterday, and there's 4 of these tanks. We painted these the purple rings, and that stands for reclaimed water, and we painted all these rings. I've got some guys further back there on another high reach, and we're going to go around and double coat all these rings. I had a bunch of leftover paint. This is all that purple paint up there is Sherwin-Williams Sure-Acryl high performance acrylic. Incredible product. Whatever they had on these tanks before, it's apples to oranges. They had some kind of Glidden, I think some kind of low grade Glidden on everything, on the purple and on these tanks. And I wish you could really see it. It's probably hard to tell by looking at this video, but I have never seen paint fade so fast in my life. I don't know that it's necessarily the product or was the applicators. Probably a little bit of both. Maybe more of the applicator, because I'm sure these tanks were spec'd out for something good, and you know, either some contractor added a bunch of water to the paint, or the contractor bought some of the good stuff and bought some really cheap stuff, the same color, and was pouring the cheap stuff in the better stuff 5-gallon buckets, and no one could tell what they were using. That happens quite a bit. A project like this, these tanks are, you know, 40,000 square feet apiece. I mean, you could have went down and bought some crop paint from anywhere at $10–15 a gallon and use that. No one ever would have known, you know. So, but when you got less than 3 years later and your tanks are completely faded out, somebody did something. So, but needless to say, that company's not working out here any longer. So, but here we are today. I got some guys, you know, double coating that ring. I had quite a bit of the Sure-Acryl left over, so I just told the guys to jump up there, and they look perfect right now. But Another coat certainly isn't going to hurt anything. What we're going to do is touch up all these raw spots wherever we pressure wash these tanks and the paint came off. Wherever you see those raw spots, we're going to actually apply a little quick dry sealer on there, and then we'll touch them up. Now everybody knows that when we touch these up, you're going to tell where we touched up at. It's going to be fresh paint, fresh satin sheen versus what's on here now. So now in some of these cracks here, some of them they need, and we do it not all the time, but we do it quite often, where we actually set injection ports and we can fix these cracks the way they're supposed to be. But in this case, it's the end of the year, they're pretty much out of budget money. We're going to do little band-aid patches for them and touch them up, and they'll address these problems in next year's budget, which is right around the corner. So that crack right there is pretty wide. What we would do is open it up a little bit and set injection ports, and we would actually shoot our epoxy resin into the crack itself, and actually basically glue back the concrete. It'll stop that crack. Right now, if it's going all the way through, it's just so much pressure, it doesn't matter what you can put in elastomeric patching compound, any kind of cementitious material, brush grade, whatever you want to put on there, and it's going to get forced back out. There's just so much pressure inside these tanks that you can't, unless you do it the right way, like set it in injection ports and fixing it the right way, it's going to continue to crack out. But they understand that right now. We're just doing a band-aid here. There's some small hairline cracks that we'll just put a little polyurethane sealant into the cracks, and then we'll let it dry, and then we'll touch it up. The big cracks, we'll just do the same thing for now. But we're cracks and any kind of substrate, we certainly have the experience, the education, knowledge, everything to handle that. We've done it many times over. So I'd like to thank Woodard & Curran for all the business. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching this short little video. Like I said, these guys here just patching cracks, sealing the area, and just touching it up with the finish paint. Make them look pretty again for a little while. Like I said, I got a couple other guys back here with a 60-foot high reach around here somewhere, double coating this ring up there. Again, this is Dustin with Orlando Painters LLC, 407-267-5886. It is September 26th, 2014. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Thank you.